And obviously, it wouldn't be a beer news show without Heady Topper news. And there's actually a pretty good article that was posted this morning. So this is late breaking from Alchemist saying. Just basically, everyone's asking him to, well, if you can't sell, if you sell it out in hours, why don't you just brew more or expand? And there's a big list of whys and warehouse and have-beens as to them expanding. And there's a good couple bullet points. One of the most important ones I thought was hops, is because they have a certain contract with a certain group that sells them hops. They only get the amount for the beers that they're going to make, which is already hard to get, considering they're getting hops from out west, and it's hard enough to get it. So hops is one thing, but they're hoping to work on more contracts for 2015. They want to minimize the environmental impacts, just because brewing beer, creates a lot of wastewater, so they're trying to figure out how to do it the right way. And they already have plans to build a new structure. It's just about the timing and getting some final bills approved. But I was reading in the chat today, who just said that? B and Darkside said at 2 p.m. today, Alchemist sold out on a 1-case limit. So I don't know. What do you guys think about that? I mean, it's good, honest answer from Alchemist. It's not like they're hiding from criticism.
I don't think people realize how expensive it is for a brewery to expand and get that kind of growth. I mean, I just a couple of weeks ago I went to Jack's Abbey. They're basically gonna be paying money until their 50s, and they're younger than almost everyone on this show to pay off their brewery to expand. I mean, it just takes a lot of money to get the infrastructure to expand, and like they said, the contracts and everything like that. It's not something you can just only go, we have to expand, bam, it's done. It takes a lot to get into that, and their whole thing is their market, it's their local place. I mean, trust me, I'd love if they could expand and I can get Heady Topper anytime I wanted, or if they could expand to the point where I can get some of their other beers that they used to brew at the brew pub that I had at the beer festivals. They were fantastic beers themselves. It wasn't just Heady Topper that was really good. But, I mean, there's just limits to what breweries can do and what they can do with the space and money they have, and people have to understand that.
Yeah, I think this might be New England's first beer that's now sought out. But I say it every time. I think it's, if you can't get that beer, go find. There's tons of other awesome beers out there, and just wait, and the beer will come to you. It's not, and it's. I think they said that in the end of the article too. Is like,
did they say that in Wayne's World?
Yeah, what they say in Wayne's World. Oh,
if you build it, they will come.
Yeah, it's something like that. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of other beers out there, so I hope the news that they're not expanding anytime soon doesn't discourage those from drinking any beer at all, because that'd be horrible.
Right, and to get on my soapbox for a second, being up here in Maine, I'm really getting sick of everybody just thinking that the only decent beer in New England is Heady Topper. It's bullshit. I love Heady Topper. It's great. But there are so many great beers in New England and Maine that y'all got to get off that little hype train and just kind of check some other stuff out. Let it be rare. Let it be, hard to get, and a treat when you get it. I don't know.
I think the reason why it stood out so much is, one, it came out right when cans were hitting it big, and two, just for so long, it was always West Coast IPAs were so much superior than East Coast IPAs. So suddenly you had this fantastic double IPA that everyone loved and just hit at the right time with the cans and just being really a phenomenal beer.
Tom, where are you based out of?
Connecticut. I'm on Ridgefield, Connecticut.
Oh, so you're well aware of all the hype. I mean, what are your thoughts on some of the kind of hype around Heady Topper itself?
I think that's part of the charm of it. I think it's it's the story behind the beer, and it's the story behind you got the beer. I got it because a guy, that a coworker drove from Boston, 5 hours up to get it, and drove 4 of them home for me, and that's how I got to taste it. Which was great, but that's kind of the mystique to it. I think is such a big part of it. But it's cool to see a reasoned, well thought out answer to remind people that it's just not as easy as saying, "Oh gosh, we're selling a lot, let's make more."
I agree, Sean. No. I mean, I know Rye Guy is a big Heady Topper fan. Hell, he brought a couple cases back. Is the Jansen house just drunk with Heady Topper right now?
No, we have it, but we would. It's not always I have to have a Heady Topper all the time.
You guys are good about it. You guys spread it around, which is good. Spread the love. Big fan.
Yeah, I think we shared at least 2 cases with people. I mean, it was more so the price amount of it. It's not a cheap case, but it was better to be able to share it with everybody else. So that, I mean, that's the name of the game. And at the same point back, I mean, we got other beers back in share, which was awesome. So.
Yeah, I was gonna say I will say the Heady Topper is good for one thing for people who don't really care so much about it. Great for trades. One can will get you anything you want from the West Coast, but I'm not a trader, but.
Did you see the most recent Beer Advocate, the cartoon they had in there?
No.
They have a little cartoon all the time, and it's supposed to be, I think, Greg from Stone and a couple other people. And so they have these 2 people. They're on a boat, and the boat is full of beer, and the boat's sinking. And they go, "Okay, we only have time to save a couple of bottles. What should I do?" And then the guy freaks out and panics. And then they show them sitting on the desert island. So one of the guy goes to the other guy and goes, "So what did you bring?" And he goes, "Wait, why are there only 8 Heady Toppers?" And he goes, "Well, I thought we could trade them." So, it was great.
That's awesome. If you can find that, I'll put it up in the old notes.
I have it with me. Hold on, I'll go grab it.
Sweet. Any final thoughts on the Topper saga before we get into another trademark battle?